The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Robert Saleh addressed Haason Reddick's trade request earlier this morning. There's new reports about who's right, what happened, and where we go from here. We'll talk about all that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
There goes my hero.
Oh,
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a favor. It is free to click the subscribe button. Like the video while you're at it. Helps this channel continue to grow and allows me to continue to give you daily New York Jets content. Before we talk about the latest with Haason Reddick, major news. We currently have open inventory if you want to advertise on this very show. All you need to do to find out about our rates and different packages we have is email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. It's going to be an incredible season, and I am so grateful for the amazing sponsors we have on the show. Some of them have been with me now for multiple years, so we're looking for more. We do long shows. They get a lot of views. They get a lot of interaction. So if you want your brand, your business exposed to the largest Jet show on the internet, shoot me an email, and we can work something out. Looking forward to connecting your brand, your business with the Asmaniacs who always go above and beyond supporting our great sponsors. All right, let's talk about Haason Reddick, shall we? I mean, I've had a lot of time to think this over. I've listened to all the shows, weigh in, give their opinions. And as we sit here right now, the only thing the New York Jets can do is take the stance that they took. How we got to the Reddick situation bothers me, because I don't believe it ever should have got to this point. But when you look at where the Jets are right now, all they could do is simply say, we're not trading you under any circumstance. That's the right approach, because at the end of the day, there's no value for Haason Reddick. How do I know this? This was Ian Rapoport on the NFL Network yesterday. I can't show you the video because of copyright issues, but I can play the audio for you. So listen in on Rap Sheet breaking down the latest with the Jets and Reddick.
Twice in 2 months, Haason Reddick has requested a trade. One time it worked, although obviously it hasn't worked. Like literally anyone involved has wanted, and now a second time. This is a complicated issue, and it actually goes back to right around the time the Jets were trading with the Philadelphia Eagles for someone who was at the time the best pass rusher available. Haason Reddick wanted a big-time, multi-year, big money contract extension, something to last him through into his mid-30s and really pay him like one of the highest-paid pass rushers in the NFL. They talked about it briefly before the trade. I think the Jets probably thought maybe like a one-year deal or kind of like a Band-Aid was more something they would do. Traded for him anyway, thinking it would work, and Haason Reddick was there, signing the contract, passing the physical, standing up there and talking about how happy he was. And then things kind of went sideways when it became clear the Jets were not going to give him the long-term extension, and he only wanted that. So he did not show up to minicamp, did not show up to training camp, collected fines after fines after fines, and still the fact that he now has said he wants to be traded does leave us in kind of a weird place because it was very evident during free agency and after that Haason Reddick was available. There was no team besides the Jets willing to do a trade and give him a new contract. So a couple months later, are there teams that would also trade for him and give him a new contract, something that would make him happy, Judy? Obviously, it's something that remains to be seen. You can have needs, you can have injuries. There are leverage points that are created. But for Haason Reddick and the Jets, after all this, they're literally nowhere.
They are nowhere. And here's the bottom line. The last thing that Rap Sheet said there, the quote, I'll put it up on the screen. There was no team besides the Jets willing to do a trade and give him a new contract. That tells you that there's no other option out there for Reddick. He's just costing himself money. That's the bottom line. How we got here, I think, is completely unacceptable. This should have been hammered out before the trade was made, like every other team always does. Don't give the Jets the benefit of the doubt. They haven't earned it. We'll defend the Jets when it's appropriate, right? When people say things about Aaron Rodgers that are objectively just not true, or they try and talk about how, well, the Jets actually don't have a great wide receiver in Garrett Wilson, or, Sauce Gardner's overrated, then I'll hammer those people. But when people criticize the Jets for how we got here, that's fair. Because guess what? Find me the team that's ever had the situation where you acquired a player who had a trade request with his previous team and is now requesting a trade for the exact same reason he requested the trade in the first place. Don't give the Jets the benefit of the doubt. But at this point, all the Jets could do is now what they're doing, because Haason Reddick has zero value. No one wants him. That's why the Jets got him for 2026 third-round pick. That's nothing. A third-round pick, 3 drafts from when they made the trade. He has no value at all. So ultimately, here's how this is going to end up. This is what's going to end up happening here. He's going to, at some point, agree to some sort of rework deal with some guarantees in the contract, maybe some incentives. Look at what Amari Cooper just signed, for example. Look what Chris Jones did last year with Kansas City. You'll have all the national types come out and say, Haason Reddick got what he wanted. His holdout worked, because the agent's going to be leaking info to those reporters to push the agenda. And at the end of the day, the Jets will get Haason Reddick back at some point. Here's the problem. Now it's a risk. Is he the Haason Reddick that was a game wrecker in Philly? Or does he come in, he's not ready to play right away, doesn't know the defense, maybe he suffers a soft tissue injury because he's rushing to get back, he hasn't had a full training camp. I talked about this with Bart Scott yesterday after I filled in on Bart and Hahn. That's the fear now. Eventually, he's going to show up. He has no leverage. The Jets aren't trading him because no one wants him. So eventually, the Jets will, quote-unquote, win the negotiation, I guess. But at some point, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face if you don't get a fully maximized Haason Reddick. And you could say, well, what if he shows up in a camp in great shape because he wants to get paid? Okay. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Now you're risking it. If you had just taken care of this before the trade was made, you're getting a highly motivated player that is with you for the entire offseason program, building chemistry with his teammates, helping Will McDonald along. Oh, by the way. Helping Jermaine Johnson along. Oh, by the way. Being a part of this team from the beginning. Now he's going to show up and he doesn't know any of his teammates. He doesn't know any of his coaches. CJ Mosley did an interview this morning on Boomer and Gio, said he hasn't spoken to Haason Reddick ever. He's the captain of the defense. Said that he was waiting for Reddick to show up to get to know him, and when he does show up, they're going to welcome him with open arms. Great. Well, he's not here right now. So, yeah, eventually the Jets probably win the negotiation because he's going to show up and have to play football. But what if he's not ready for week 1? Right? He'll show up, and he's there, but if he doesn't get enough practices, if he shows up right before the regular season starts, he can't play week 1. If he shows up on September 4th, which I believe is Labor Day, maybe it's the 3rd, whatever it is, he shows up on that Monday, a week before the opener. Is he playing a week later? No, probably not. And at this point, he's shown you he's willing to lose the amount of money he's already lost. What's 2 more weeks of game checks at this point, if you're that dead set in your ways? Here's the other thing I would say. So Joe Douglas came out yesterday and put out the statement. And I'll read you the statement again for those who missed it. First time Joe Douglas has been on the record since he's been the GM with a trade request. Remember, this is now the 4th player that's done this. in the Joe Douglas tenure? Jamal Adams, and that was great for the Jets. After that, you had Denzel Mims. Remember that? Elijah Moore. There were no statements that were ever made. So the Jets are dug in here because they know, yeah, they have the leverage, but at what cost? The cost is you eventually get Reddick, and he's not the guy you were bringing in. And the thing that's driving me crazy is I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it in the comment section. People are tweeting me this idea, oh, the Jets don't need Reddick. He's just an added bonus. Even someone I like, Connor Hughes on SNY, saying, well, the Jets kind of had their full offseason. And then, after free agency, then they added Haason Reddick. They looked at it like they had their team set, and then they added Haason Reddick. And I'm thinking to myself, Connor, stop it. Stop it. They knew they had an unproven Will McDonald in year 2 and a third-year unproven Michael Clemens starting on the defensive line opposite Jermaine Johnson. That's why they got Reddick. They saw Bryce Huff leave in free agency. They tried to sign Clowney in free agency, Connor, and then they traded for Reddick. So we can't sit here and say, well, they had their team all set, and then they added Reddick as the cherry on top. Haason Reddick was not the cherry on top. Haason Reddick was the solution to losing Bryce Huff, which in hindsight, I said a year ago, as did many Jet fans, they should have signed him. Then he wouldn't be in the spot. Or you should have just paid a little extra and beat the essentially 1-year, $12 million deal the Panthers gave to Jadeveon Clowney. How about you go 1 year, $14 million, bring in Clowney. He's awesome. Maybe he's not Reddick, but he's really good. He'll fit the scheme. He had 9.5 sacks last year. He's good against the run, which was, if you're going to point to one area of the defense that could get better, stopping the run is one. He would have been fine as well. So how we got here, to me, is a bad job by this general manager who does not deserve, a free pass for everything like so many of you want to give him. But we blame Bob Saleh for the mess when the biggest issues this team has had is because the GM drafted one of the worst quarterbacks in the history of the sport. Let's not forget that. He doesn't get a pass for that just because we all understood his thought process in taking a quarterback that high. And then insulting all of our intelligence when he didn't do anything last year, and we had to watch Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle start the entire season. So I want to hear the Douglas defenders out there say he could do no wrong. I'm not saying you fire the guy or he hasn't made great moves, but the idea that we blindly defend Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh is the worst ever is such nonsense. It drives me crazy. But let's not forget this, right? The spin from the Jets. Oh, well, we can't sign Haason Reddick because we don't want to sign a player who's not in our building, who's never played for us, right? That's what the Jets have put out there. They told that to their reporters. That's their side of the story. Hey, we have Michael Carter on the last year of his deal. He showed up to camp. Hey, we have DJ Reed on the last year of his deal. He showed up to camp. Hey, we have Tyler Conklin on the last year of his deal. He showed up to camp. Well, guess what? Those guys, one, are not Haason Reddick. Really good players, but they're not Haason Reddick. And two, if that's the case, Joe, if that's the case, Woody, here's what I would say, right? If your stance is true, that you don't want to go negotiate a contract extension with a player that isn't in your building, prove that. Extend Michael Carter today. Send a message to Haason Reddick's camp that you're being honest about, hey, Haason, you show up, we will work with you on redoing your contract. But until you show up, we're not doing it. Right? I think that's a solution. If you're going to sit here and tell me that you won't sign Reddick or redo his deal because he's not in the building, well, Michael Carter's in the building. Give him a contract extension. Do it today. Because otherwise, you know what it is? Just posturing. It's not real. There's no spin on that. You got to buy that, Jet fans? You really think that they won't negotiate a contract with a player that's not in their building? I can tell you that's not true because last summer, Quinnen Williams skipped a lot of the offseason program. They still paid him. So that's what I would do if I'm the Jets. If you actually want us to believe your side of the story, sign Michael Carter today. But at the end of the day, yeah, the Jets are eventually going to get Haason Reddick back. But at what cost? What level of player is he going to be? And I'll say this, there's still a happy ending here. He goes out there. He eventually signs. He has a great season. Awesome. When do things ever go right for the Jets, though? It's been a long time. Now, I guess we could say Revis held out, and then he was first-team All-Pro, and that worked out just fine. Okay. Darrelle Revis was a lot younger, still in his prime. Reddick's still in the back end of his prime. He's not old, but it's a different situation to me. Just saying. So, yeah, eventually the Jets will win this as far as the quote-unquote negotiation. They have his rights. They have the leverage. He's not going to miss a whole year. His contract's not going to toll over. But at what cost? Because are you getting the same player you acquired? And the nonsense they're trying to put out there that, oh, well, he was just the cherry on top. You know, we felt good about Jermaine. We have Will McDonald, 2 first-round picks on our defensive line as edge rushers. That's such nonsense. Don't believe that. Will McDonald, I think, will be a good player. He's not Haason Reddick. All right, I want to be fair. I like Will McDonald. I think he's a good pass rusher. I think he could fill in the Bryce Huff role this year. Haason Reddick changes games. Too many of you, I don't think I've ever actually watched Haason Reddick because some of the comments I'm seeing are baffling. This guy is a game wrecker. And he should be compensated for such. I'm not saying you give him a multi-year deal, but you can't tell me there's 18 defensive ends in the NFL that are better than Haason Reddick. He's the 19th highest paid edge. So figure it out. If he shows up, redo his deal. But if you're serious about, well, you won't do a deal until someone shows up, prove it. Because right now you haven't signed Michael Carter. You want some goodwill in the locker room? Pay one of your own right now. That's how you do it. That's what I would do. But what do I know? You know, I'm just the guy who said since March 15th of 2023, Zach Wilson shouldn't be the backup quarterback. It's a huge mistake. But what do I know? What do I know? Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. I'll tell you what, regardless of what happens with Reddick, we're partying Saturday night. T-Squared Social, RSVP to come to our free event for the Jets-Panthers game on August 17th. That's a Saturday, baby. We're just days away. Party starts at 6:30. Games at 7. It will be on all the TVs. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. I will see you there. RSVP, if you're coming, we got a Garrett Wilson signed football. Thanks to my friends at ESPN New York for making that happen. There's going to be drink specials. Get ready, baby. It is all happening at T-Squared Social. The location is perfect. Right next to Grand Central Station, right next to Bryant Park. So if you're taking the train from Long Island, Westchester, Connecticut, Jersey, easy to get to. And I can't wait to meet so many of you at T-Squared Social this Saturday night. All right, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I mentioned Robert Saleh was asked about Reddick. He was on Boomer and Gio this morning. He said, quote, and this was a good answer by Saleh. To be honest, I think Joe said it all. I'm focused on these guys. I'll say this much. We love our D-line group. It's really deep, especially our DNs. I'm focused on those guys. They're taking advantage of their opportunity. It's what he should say. But I'm telling you right now, the idea that this defensive line group is just as good without a guy who has been on the all-pro team 2 of the last 3 years is utter nonsense. Let's not forget that. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We got some channel memberships to shout out. Thank you to Bobby Midnight, who signed up and became an Asmaniac. Big thank you to David, who did the same. He's an Asmaniac. And how about a 5-spot of gifted memberships courtesy of Asmaniac Mike.
Money, 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 money.
All right, here we go. We got 5 names to shout out. Rich Rise, you're a channel member. Gary Pappy, you're a channel member. Arsenal Jets, you know the drill. Channel member. Jet Fan 911, channel member. Jose Sanchez, channel member. Let's go. Thank you to all the Asmaniacs out there. Thanks to everyone for their support. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get to some of your calls right now. We head out live to One Jets Drive. Petey is on the line. What's up, Petey?
Yo, Jake, I got your buddy here.
Wow, look at Matt O'Leary, NY in the house.
Jake, I can't really hear you, but it's crowded here. Vibes is still positive. I mean, I'm not happy about the Reddick thing, but I think he'll eventually come. And, just watching you here and keep it up, brother. Matt, you got anything to say?
What's up, Jake? What's up, Jet fans? Everyone, enjoy. It's a beautiful day here in Florham Park.
Matt O'Leary. Ask Matt, Pete, if he's the tallest person that's there.
Tallest person? I might be. I think so.
I think there may be a player, though, here that's taller, but in the stands, I don't know, man. Good question, Jake.
Me and Zach Kuntz.
I love it. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for calling in.
That, Jake. Have a good day.
Petey, checking in from camp. Love that. We'll keep you posted on today's camp practice. I got Brandon Pockris coming on in the afternoon. He's covering the practice today for JetX. He'll come on with a recap, and we'll talk about the latest on Reddick because every Jet player now is going to be asked about it. That's just how it goes. So we could say it's not a distraction. And ultimately, I think this team is pretty good about staying focused and not letting outside noise affect them. This is the same team that won 7 games with a traffic cone at quarterback last season. But it's a story. It is a story until it is not. Rich checks in. Jake, I love your idea about signing MC2. If not Reddick, love it. That'd be awesome. Well, I just want to call out the Jets on their nonsense because I think it's nonsense. We can't sign Reddick to a new deal because he's not here. What type of message does that send to the guys who are here in the final year of their deals? To me, that's nonsense. Don't acquire a player you knew wanted a new deal unless you had a new deal done. This is why. I don't care if Reddick gave him his word. He looks bad in this too. I want to make it clear. But I care about the Jets winning this year, not winning the negotiation against Haason Reddick. The idea they're a better team without him is horse bleep. They're not. You want to win a Super Bowl, Jet fans? I know I do. Haason Reddick helps you do that. So I'm not saying he's blameless here. I think his agents look terrible. I think he's getting bad advice, whatever. But from a Jet standpoint, it never should have gotten to this point. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt for that. This only happens to the Jets. And I'm telling you that. This is not First Take saying that. Or some national show nobody watches or cares about. Find me the team that has ever had this. You can't. It doesn't happen. It never should have got to this point. But Joe Douglas could do no wrong. Oh, he's the greatest. When he does things like this, it is fair to criticize him. It should not have gotten to this point. Jerome is up next. What's up, Jerome?
What's going on, Jake? What's going on, Jake, man? I feel your frustration, man. But I told you I didn't feel good about the Haason Reddick thing. But here's the thing. I understand the Jets' rationale and everything. But and Haason, he's wrong. He's wrong, but you guys are all in right now. You guys, it's like, and I didn't want to believe it being an outsider looking in as a Packer fan, but it's like, so the Jets thing. It's like, now I believe you guys when you guys say it's the Jets. LOL, it's the Jets. They would do stuff like this. But you know what, though? Y'all need Haason. You are absolutely correct, 100% correct. Because Haason is a difference between, he could be the difference between, it could be 3 or 4 games. You guys are having the balance, and you're going to need that breakthrough. Haason gets you past those 3 games. There will be, you guys may still get to the playoffs without Haason, but he is the one that's going to get you guys over the hump when you're facing them at home or a Burrow or when you're trying to win a championship game. So this notion that you guys are better without him, I don't think so. You guys may get to the playoffs, but he will be the difference between you guys getting over the hump. So I totally think that Joe has to fix this. Joe has to just go on here and pay that man.
Well said, Jerome. Well said. Great call. It's just how we got here. We never should be here. But now that we're here, just fix it, man. Stop this. We won't negotiate with him unless he shows up. Give him more money than what Bryce Huff is making in year 1. That seems to be a sticking point by the Reddick camp from what I've heard. And just figure it out, man. All right? Great. You win the negotiation. At what cost, though? The last thing I need is Reddick being dumb enough, because he might be dumb enough, because I think he's handled this terribly. I want to make that clear. But the last thing we need is this guy missing games, not being the same player, and we're saying every week, yeah, the Jets are 3-2, but they'd be 4-1 with Haason Reddick right now. They're 6-3, but they really would be 8-1 with Reddick. We don't need to do that. We really don't. More of your calls right now. Let's go to Dad Life. Dad Life, what do you got for us?
Hey, man, it's just frustrating being a Jets fan, man. Like, the thing that annoys me the most is just that LOL Jets. I can't – it's just we have a great team. This is a great season, and we're trying to win the Super Bowl. Like, all this, who has the leverage, that's irrelevant to us right now as a Jets player. Like, I side with the Jets a little bit because, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Joe Douglas can't be this naive. They had to have some form of agreement. And the notion that, I'm not going to sign a player until they've been in the building. How do we sign free agents? They never played for us before. They still got to do a physical. When he came and do the physical, they should at least try to iron it out and get some framework. So there's no nonsense about, he never played a snap for us. Like, and players are smart. I think, Sauce and Garrett, they know the type of player he is. So if he gets a big deal, I'm not saying give him, 25 plus, but even if they give him a big deal, they're not going to look at it and say like, why would you give him that money? And he never played a snap for us. Players are smart. They know what type of player he is and what he brings to the team. And we're trying to win a Super Bowl. Like, they don't care about none of that. Garrett, based on listening to Garrett talk, he wants to win. He doesn't care about the money side of it. He wants to win. And like I said, the players are smart. If you give Reddick a good deal, they're not going to look at it like, why would you give him that deal? Because they know what kind of player Reddick is. Why we acting like Reddick is some normal guy? This dude can be the difference for us winning a Super Bowl. And that's all that matters. If we give him $30 million and we win a Super Bowl, I don't care. Win a Super Bowl, get it done. I'm tired of this Jets thing. I don't want to hear the media laughing at the Jets. Simple. Pay the man whatever he wants. We're trying to win. I don't care about
that's the only thing I disagree with. You're not giving him a 3-year extension, but
I'm sorry, a 1-year deal. Whatever. I don't think we should give him nothing more than, if you want to give him a 2-year deal, make it a team option at least. But at least make it incentivized enough to where the 1-year deal brings him in camp. If you want to add like a second year as a player option or a team option, that's fine. But in regards to like a 1-year deal, if $25 million gets him in camp going, I'm okay with that. Yeah, anything north of that, like I said, I'm not in the building. I don't know what they see in Will McDonald, because they're gonna say whatever they want to make it look good. So they know if they believe the players they have can compete, but I still don't think the Jets can win a Super Bowl without Reddick. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong and they win without Reddick, but I feel a lot better with Reddick in this team. Like anybody that says that the Jets don't need Reddick, they're not a Jets fan. They're just I can't explain it.
Yep.
Reddick? Come on, man. I appreciate the time, man, but I hate this LOL Jets business, man. Get it done, man. It doesn't make any sense. Get it done.
Yeah, I mean, look, either way, there's LOL Jets if they don't win. It's the only way you'll change things. You can't control any narrative unless you win. It's the only thing that matters. But like, you're making your team a lot worse without this guy. I don't think enough people realize that. Like, it's actually funny seeing how stupid some of you are. Because I'm reading comments like this one here from Kareem Mitchell, who says, Reddick doesn't fit our playing style. Typical Jet fan falling for the big name. Kareem then writes, Reddick trash. Kareem, I've read a lot of dumb comments over the last 24 hours. I want to congratulate you on having the worst of all of them. So, Kareem, we will see you in 24 hours. Goodbye.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
I mean, you are dumb, man. Sorry. I mean, we just don't have any room for that. Good God. Yep, Haason Reddick's trash. Last I checked, how often in the Jets' history have they ever had a player have at least 10 or more sacks in a season? In 4 straight years. The answer is 0. Now let's take it a step further. Because I feel like when I say the double-digit sack stat, people are just like, oh, he has like 10 or 11 sacks every year. Let's go back now to Haason Reddick's sack totals from 2020 through this past season. All right? So his last 4 years, these are the sack totals. 12.5, 11, 16, 11. The year he finished with 16 sacks, he was 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. But yeah, he stinks. We're falling for the big name. But you guys are the same people who wanted to defend trash quarterback play all year. Oh, it's not Zach Wilson's fault. Get lost. More of your calls. Rob's up next. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Jake. I tell you, I feel a little bit better since you told me that Insider Beats take on it and your take on it this morning, actually, after you thought about it. I'm actually feeling a little bit better, too, because let's be honest here. If somebody really wanted him, they would have traded for him. And you're right. We only had to trade a third-round pick for a game breaker, a guy who could change the outcome of the game. Forget about what that previous guy said. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. This guy changes outcomes of games. We know it. We know it all. But you know what it is, Jake? We are in the position of leverage here, okay? We have to do nothing. You know what? Either you're going to sit out and get fined the rest of the year and not play, and then you hit 30, and you know what? Who's going to give you a big contract if they see you sit out for the whole entire year? Because that also shows that you're a bit selfish also. You know, that type of a player. I understand he wants to get paid big, but get on the field, have a great year, and someone's going to pay him. Even if it's not the Jets, someone will pay him. But I also agree with you. I don't want to hear one word from J.J. Allen or anyone that this is on Saleh at all, because this is not on him at all. This is J.D. I know Bonesy loves J.D., and I also like him. But you know what? If anything, J.D. kind of dropped the ball a little bit here because you know what? This should have gotten done. You should have made this guy happy. You should have guaranteed his 14.5, like you said. You throw in good, obtainable incentives that he can reach, and he's going to come in a happy camper and in shape. And like you said, no soft tissue problems or a hamstring or a muscle thing that we have to worry about now. And then on top of that, Jake, we have to worry about this guy comes in with bad attitude. You know, you don't want that juju in the locker room. You want everyone to be happy. This is our Super Bowl year, and this guy could put us over the top. So, I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, we have to do nothing right now. Unfortunately, we have to do nothing. Sit here, and eventually I would think that this guy would come into camp after all these fines are levied. So, I mean, we're still in the bargaining position, but JD did drop the ball to a certain extent. I'm with you 100%.
Rob, appreciate the call. I mean, all you need to know is this offseason alone, the Texans acquired Stephon Diggs. They redid his contract. They acquired Joe Mixon. They redid his contract. The Browns traded for Jerry Jeudy. Gave him a huge deal as soon as it was finalized. The Giants acquired Brian Burns. Signed him immediately before the deal was finalized. The Titans traded for L'Jarius Sneed. Guess what they did? They signed him immediately. This only happens to the Jets, so I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. At this point, what they're doing is the right approach because there's no value for Reddick. No one wants him. So eventually he'll cave and the Jets will win the negotiation. But are you getting the Haason Reddick that you thought you were acquiring? Does he come in and have a great year? And you could say, well, he'd be hurting himself if he's not motivated to come in and play great. But okay, you know, if you're not comfortable with your bosses in your work environment, are you going to give your best performance? You could say, Jake, it's a business. Once he gets there with his teammates, he's going to love it. He'll love the coaching staff. Okay, maybe. I don't know that. See, this is not Chris Jones coming back to the Chiefs where he's won before and was drafted and developed there. Right? They're a family. You can get over that. Reddick has no loyalty to the Jets. He was playing for his hometown team and requested a trade because they wouldn't pay him. It was up to him. He would have stayed in Philly if he got paid. He's from Camden, New Jersey. That's South Jersey. That's Eagles country. He grew up an Eagles fan. He played at Temple. He has no loyalty to the Jets. So, yeah, you win the negotiation. Congrats, Joe. But if you don't win, I don't care if you won the negotiation and you save some more in your salary cap because the next GM can come in and pay Sauce and Garrett and get this team on track if you can because they got to win this year. But congrats to the Jets. Hang the banner. We won the Reddick negotiation. Stupid. Hennessy writes in with a super chat. The problem is he wants a max contract and we want a rental. We don't know what he wants. If he wants Danielle Hunter's contract, is that so crazy? 2 years and $48 million? Is that so crazy for a guy who's been just as productive and is the same age? Even if you're like, well, he was a free agent, so we're not going to give him exactly that. There has to be ways to add enough money to at least just get him in the building. But Jake, then how do they pay everyone else? You guys need to really read Spot Track or follow Jason Fitzgerald on Twitter. They have plenty of financial flexibility to give them that type of deal and still pay all the other guys we love on this team. How is it the Rams could pay all their guys? Or the Dolphins just paid Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle huge contracts. The Saints every year are in cap hell, yet they keep all the players they want to keep. Yet they somehow found money to pay Derek Carr $40 million last year when they were negative 12 in cap space going into that offseason. The cap also goes up every year. You're trying to win this year. The Jets have $50 million in dead cap this year. That comes off the books next year. They have the money. BP with a super chat. We need to send JD and Reddick team a Taylor ham and cheese and get this deal done today. No, what they really need to do, BP, is get in the car, get to Roscoe, New York, get your ass at the Roscoe Diner, order the Tannenbaum with the Revis on the side, and get the deal done. That's what needs to happen. Luppy with a super chat. If Reddick was a free agent available for $25 million 1 year, you know JD would be in. I feel he will sign just before the first game of the season. Well, at this point, that's the leverage that Reddick has. He went nuclear with the trade request yesterday. The next thing he could do is show up, if he's okay with taking the fines, which to this point he is, show up right before the regular season starts so you get your week 1 game check, but you're not in game shape. You haven't practiced with the defense. They can't put you out there week 1. And then the Jets lose week 1, like the Chiefs did last year with Chris Jones, and the media is going crazy. Oh, same old Jets, even though they lost to objectively maybe the best team in football, mind you, on the road. But, you know, that's going to be the storyline. Oh, you got to pay Reddick, And it's like, well, we'll see what the Jets do then. Because they could just be thinking, yeah, we could use them. But we're also playing Tennessee, New England, Denver, and Minnesota in our next 4 games. So, you know, I heard Connor Hughes make the comment, Reddick gets leverage if they don't touch Brock Purdy on Monday Night Football. I don't know about that. I think Reddick gets leverage if they're 0-2, right? Or they get off to like a 2-4 start and he's still not there. But does anyone think that's actually going to happen? I don't. I think he'll do a hold-in. So he can get his money and then say, oh, I got a back injury. I can't play. And it could get ugly. Or if he's a bad teammate in the building, Jets could say, you're gone. And then they're basically doing the Deshaun Watson that Houston did where they paid him to not play, which would really be worst case scenario. And you could say, well, why would Reddick do that to himself? Who's going to give him that money? Players are stupid, man. They get bad advice from agents. Le'Veon Bell did it with Pittsburgh. You just don't want to go down that road. Just get this done. Knob Deep writes in, what exactly are they saving the money for? I don't know. JD's got to win the negotiation, baby. Hang the banner. Brandon Roberts with a super chat. Thanks for letting me vent. I don't care about leverage. We need to win. Get Reddick in the building. Go Jets. Dad Life FC. Brandon, great call, man. Appreciate your support. Thanks for the super chat, too. Richie's in the house. Jets Media. Will McDonald, 10+ sacks this season. Let's go. Sign me up for that. No complaints from me, Richie. I like Will McDonald, but I do think it's kind of funny. The Jets are like, well, we have 2 first-round picks on our defensive line at our edge spot. Reddick was the cherry on top. We signed him after free agency. You signed him after Jadeveon Clowney in free agency went to Carolina instead of your team. The revisionist history there that the Jets are trying to spin to all of you. Don't fall for it. M. Lopez with a super chat. Devin Smith, D. Milner, Calvin Pryor, Darren Lee. Are you just naming failed draft picks? Is that what we're doing? You paid $2 for that? Congratulations. I appreciate it, though. I'm a capitalist. Speaking of capitalists, we are, let's see, 21 memberships away from the AR Scorched Earth emoji going live for the Asmaniacs. So I appreciate everyone for the support, super chats, and memberships. The pipeline, the lifeline of the program. More calls right now. Phenom's in the house. Hello, Phenom.
Hey, good morning, Jake. Wow. I'm glad I tuned into this show because I needed to hear your take on this. And this is what I've come up with. There's now 4 phases of football you want to be good in. Offense, defense, special teams, and of course your management. You know, I'm not the cap guy. I don't know all that stuff, but I do know that good football teams have quality management and make sound decisions. We had Bryce Huff, and the narrative was he wasn't the complete defensive end, yada, yada, yada. This is a guy we developed and brought up to all-pro status. And they made the excuse that they didn't want to pay him, right? So now we go out and make a deal, and you don't finish the deal by guy comes in, has a physical, passes the physical, has a nice interview, and you don't complete the deal. That's not a mark of a quality management team. So could this potentially knock us out of a playoff run? Of course it could. Okay, this was the first preseason game. Did the pass rush look great? No. But we have depth pieces. It was a collective that made the pass rush great. We have 2 or 3 guys that are good, but as a collective, that's our strength. We need this guy to be the head dog to all of that. And if he's not on the field, it isn't going to affect the way we play defensive football. So we have to be proactive in this. We can't just sit back.
Yeah, let's go, Phenom.
I'm sorry, we can't. We have to be proactive. These guys have to say, let's make an adjustment. Let's go after this guy. Let's get this guy in the camp. Or else, my father used to say it all the time. Jets, or Pete, or Phenom, the Jets are cheap. He told me that over and over as I was a Jet fan throughout the years. And he's not screaming in my ear because this is not, in the big scheme of things, it's important, but it's not very important with all the world stuff we have going on in the world today. But as Jet fans, this is important to us. So maybe we have some pull. Maybe we have some force. Sign this guy, please.
Phenom, are you free Saturday night?
I'm there, buddy. I'm there.
I'm buying your first round. All right. I'm worried about you. We need to get the heart rate in check, man. I'm just gonna play this. All right. Listen up. This is my message to you, Phenom.
RELAX. Relax.
All right. We're gonna have a good time Saturday. You know, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, Jake. Thanks for the show. Enjoy the show. I like the hat. Maybe I need a autograph Jake Asman show hat. I'd be
happy to sign it for you.
Are you bringing merch to the deal?
I'm not. No, it's we don't have merch, but I can offer you a discount code, which you already have because you're on Patreon, so never mind.
All right, Jake. Looking forward to Saturday, buddy. See you, man.
Phenom, can't wait, man. Cheers to you, Phenom. One of the great voices of all time. Pat Rich with a super chat. And Asmaniac super chat. You get one for free every month. I don't understand people saying we don't need Reddick. We absolutely need him as much as he needs us. Our defense is good, but with him, we are elite. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Jets defense would be god-awful without Reddick. That's not true. They wouldn't have been god-awful without Revis in 2010. They wouldn't have been 3rd in the league that year if Revis wasn't there. I promise you that. You know, I have faith in the coaching staff. They'll get the most out of who's there. But now imagine this coaching staff with Reddick, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, and Will McDonald closing out games. 3rd down and long. Jets at home. Monday night against the Bills. Josh Allen's out there running around. You know what Haason Reddick did last year to Josh Allen? He sent him to the shadow realm with one of his hits as Allen's running around. That's why you got Haason Reddick. Close out games like that. You could beat the Titans without Reddick. You could beat Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy in London without Reddick. You could beat Bo Nix or Jared Stidham without Reddick. That's not the point. That is not the point. Mark checks in. What was more frustrating, the Reddick news or that pathetic Yankees loss last night? Honestly, the answer is just yes. Don't get me started with that debacle. The fact that they got embarrassed by the worst team of all time. Seriously, they're worse than the 1962 Mets. As bad as if the Yankees don't win the next two. I mean, what a joke. All right. You got me mad, Mark. Damn you. More calls right now. This guy will get us back on track. He always provides us with astute knowledge of the New York Jets and really nothing else.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he's not on the toilet.
V-Man, I did a 3-hour show yesterday about Reddick. All the regulars called in besides you.
Oh, yeah. What? Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Well, thanks for calling a talk show where you can't hear the host.
Sorry, no, it's just that I'm in my cousin's house in Massachusetts. Let me go outside so I can hear you better and not disturb anybody.
Take us outside.
Sorry about that.
I had your doppelganger on yesterday, Michael Nania.
So yeah, no, I'm visiting my great aunt. I'd show you to her, but she's not in a mental shape to be introduced to new people.
Okay, you don't have to show us then. That's fine.
Yeah, no. So honestly, this is just frustrating, and I'm glad I had it muted when you were talking about the Yankees losing to the White Sox, because obviously my cousin's dad is a diehard Boston sports fan, so I don't want to have to hear him rub it in.
I see.
No, but like I said, this is ridiculous. This should have been done ages ago. It's unfortunate it got to the situation, but like I said, I agree with you that they're going to result like that. He's eventually going to sign. They're going to get him in. The question is like, how well is he going to play? Well, ultimately, it depends on like the deal. I think it honestly depends on the deal. I think if he's going to, if it's going to be something more long term, he'll probably. It depends on if the deals are favorable for him. I think he'll play harder. If it's not as favorable, I think he might slack off.
Good insight there. I appreciate it.
Yeah. This is just frustrating. It's like, of course, we're the Jets fans. We can never enjoy an offseason of quiet. We always have to get some form of chaotic nonsense in our off seasons. We cannot escape it.
Hey, V-Man, have you ever had a Manhattan before?
No.
It's an alcoholic beverage.
No, I've never had it before.
Well, on Saturday, we're calling it the V-Hatton.
So what is actually in the drink?
You're going to have to Google it. It's a mystery.
All right. Have you ever had a zombie before?
I don't believe I've had a zombie before, no.
Have you ever had a mojito before?
I have, yes.
All right. Well, I guess I will have to find out about that drink, and I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's going to be fun. We can take our minds off of this nonsense, watching a bit of preseason football.
How's the voice? Yeah, the pipes are good for the halftime show?
I don't sing. I do not sing.
That's not true. I've heard you sing before.
No, there's only one person in my family who can sing, and he died on the 6th of last year, 6th of December.
Well, thanks for making this call morbid, V-Man.
Sorry.
All right. Well, V-Man, thanks for the time.
All right, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bass, and Jake. Get it started, Gator.
Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Well, Super Jazz always cut the line.
And the Boyalo dances really fine.
When she's sucking and back them jets.
My senorita, you know she gets real happy.
Real happy if that female look is a rhyme.
Hey, Gator, it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Space, and Jake. Space, and Jake.
And I'm supposed to think V-Man doesn't sing? There's video of it. Come on now. Hit the like button. We got 555 of you crazies in here. Shout out to the Asmaniacs for always coming through. She got 500 likes. But, I'm not good at math, so what do I know? All right, more of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring on Zack Bounce. Hello, Zack.
Hey, Jake. Been on vacation for a couple weeks. Just got back yesterday, and I just get a phone call from my father just laughing on the other end. New York Jets.
Isn't he a Jet fan?
He is, but he also loves to just when the Jets do Jet-like things, he really just, it swells up in him. Oh, and Jet fans, what do we talk? This is normal. This is do you smell it in the air? It's New York Jets bullshit. Week after week after week of New York Jets bullshit. You're expecting this. This is nothing new. What do the Jets need to do? They look at it and they swerve in the other direction. It's classic management shit that cannot get figured out. This is it. Jet fans, we are here. This is a classic New York Jets season that will get interrupted with the Super Bowl victory if they can figure it out. Now, I'm going to walk down to MetLife Stadium today. I had to go to the podiatrist, something on my foot. I'm still walking. I'll walk on a broken foot through the snow.
Any truth to the rumor you're using the same doctor Bobby used?
Can't confirmed. Yes. I'm just going to have to assume, yes, Bobby and I must go to the same doctor, considering we both wear hats.
Bobby, is this true? Same doctor as Zack?
Oh, no. His doctor's in New York, mine's in Vermont.
But my doctor is in Vermont, Bobby.
No, he's not in Vermont.
I go to Vermont for my doctor.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Bobby, does your doctor have DR in front of it?
This sounds like the Reddick negotiation. A lot of he said, she said going on here.
Yep.
All right, we'll check back in with you soon, Bob. Continue, Zack.
I don't know. I love the doctor. He always talks about Bobby. Now, the last thing is just that you should know, and everyone knows, that this is what truly at the core of what makes the New York Jets New York Jets is this right here. And this is the problem that has never been solved, is behind the scenes stuff that always affects the field, and they can't ever figure it out. And so I'm okay. I'm calm. I'm just going to laugh like my dad does. I think he laughed for 30 seconds and then hung up the phone. I knew exactly what it was about. And that's all you can do. Laugh, because this is classic BS.
Gator writes in, as Zack bounces, around in his show host career, he should invest in a brighter light behind him so we can all get sunburned.
That light is the hope of all New York Jet fans, and I leave it on constantly. That's how bright it is.
Is your lamp crooked like Bobby's was?
Always. I just try to be who Bobby is. Same doctor, same lamp. That's my goal.
Excellent job, Zack. Great call. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Zack Bounce. He's got to bounce. Get it? Done. I'll be here all week. All right, more calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people want in on the conversation. It's tough to crack the lineup on this show. But when it comes to this guy, we always get him on the show.
Well, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
No. Your lamp is crooked again.
I don't know. My cat attacked it.
All right. We'll let it slide.
So, I think the Jets should get him. I think he should show up. I think he should show up no matter what. He eat popcorn on the side and, wear shorts. Like poor boy Green said this morning, he could come show up and eat popcorn and he doesn't have to. And then they could get the two, Joe Douglas and whatever his, is that Boris?
Did Boy Green specify if there's any toppings on the popcorn?
No, he just said popcorn.
All right. We'll have to ask him that.
Yeah, no. So, no, you like to play that Joe Douglas theme. Why don't you get very mad today?
Well, I'm not going to blindly defend the GM when I don't think he's handled this great.
Yeah, but you always play that, Cold Stone Steve Austin opening. Or Stone Cold, Stone Cold. I always get that. So
Cold.
Stone Cold. I mean, Stone Cold. Yeah, I get it mixed up.
Yeah, Cold Stone Joe Douglas.
Yeah, that's the break. You know, when you break the glass.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll play it when he gets the deal done with Reddick.
Right. I know, right? I hope it gets done soon.
You know, Bobby, it's funny you brought up Cold Stone because that's an ice cream place. You know, someone had the idea yesterday of paying for Reddick by getting him his own ice cream line.
You like Johnny Ice Cream? He's so.
Oh, I love
nice.
Johnny.
He's like 13 now.
No,
I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
He's not 13. He's like 5 or 6.
No, he's not. No, he's older than that.
He's not 13. Maybe we're somewhere in the middle.
Okay,
Maybe,
he's like
maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He does go with it, Dad. In the thing.
He's a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, whippersnapper. Yeah, compared to me, I'm an old whippersnapper.
You're an old fart.
I am an old fart.
I know.
Play the fart song. Fart. There you go.
Bobby, family show.
All right, I got the gas coming out from my medicine. What else? Oh yeah, Saturday you're gonna be down there, right? 6:30.
Oh, I'll be down there, all right.
I'll be on YouTube. Michael's gonna be here too.
Oh, it's gonna be wild. The Bobby show will be on one of the TVs.
Yeah, Michael's gonna show up here. He wants to show up for the Saturday night party.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be
All
square. I'll be square.
I see what you did there, Bob. Well done.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you know what? You want to feel old?
Not really, but sure.
Do you remember the Wonder Years?
I've seen the show, but I don't remember it per se.
Remember Winnie, the girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's a grandma now.
Oh, wow.
That's how old I am.
You're an old fart.
Yeah, I know. Play it again.
Nah, I'm all right.
I'm in a good mood today, don't you see?
I can see you got some sleep.
Yes, I did. And my, toe is getting better. Oh, I just wish I could go there. But Nick or Boy Green's going to help me out.
All right, great.
With the 2 tickets, anybody wants them. My brother understands. But we're going to be at the Texans game.
Can't wait. I got your ticket.
I know, and you get on the field.
You're going to be on the field. Just don't trip Aaron Rodgers.
No, what does the field feel like? Turf?
It feels like a field.
I know, but it's turf, right?
Yes.
And it's like concrete on the bottom, right?
I guess somewhere underneath it. Yeah.
Oh, somewhere on it. All right. I just wanted to know. And the Yankees, oh my God, 41 games. The Chicago White Sox is at our first place. And we lost that game 12-2. What the hell are we doing?
I don't know, Bob, but thank you for the time.
Well, you know, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Unless Jake has a show, I'm Bobby.
Bobby Midnight, everybody. In a jolly mood today. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy's rocking his Asmaniac bucket hat. Ricky NY is next. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, what's happening, Jake? I can't blame too much of this on JD because I think that it just seems like once, Reddick's camp thought they had some leverage, the situation changed. And I think the statement that JD put out is basically just letting them know, no, you don't have any leverage. But the same agent also represents A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel. Requesting a trade is that guy's signature move. Like that, it really doesn't shock me, but I can't put too much on JD about this.
Ricky, I appreciate the call. The Wi-Fi actually held up. Thought we were going to lose you a little bit, but we got it. We got it in. Look, Douglas, I don't think is blameless here. Don't acquire a disgruntled player who wants a new deal without a new deal in place. That's simple. Or just pay your guy, Bryce Huff. Or pony up the extra $2 million to beat the Panthers' offer, and if they had brought in Jadeveon Clowney, no one would have been that upset. So, at this point, how the Jets are handling it, I agree with it because Reddick has no leverage. But great, you win the negotiation. Like, better hope he's still the same player that you acquired. We're seeking channel memberships. We've added 7 during this show. We're 21 away from a new emoji being added for the people. Let's go to Francesco, who's up next. Hello, Francesco.
Hey, Jake, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. I listen every day pretty much, and I just had a kind of like a different perspective on this whole Haason Reddick thing. Um, kind of like, how much do you think Woody's meddling in these negotiations? Because like it seems like Woody doesn't want to hand out any long-term deals. He didn't want to do it for Huff. He didn't want to do it for. He's not doing it for Michael Carter right now.
Well, he
He's not
paid
doing
Quinnen
it for.
last year, though. Like who? This is like who haven't they signed that they've needed to sign? You know.
Well, I'm just saying he's keeping more like 1 year deals. Like throughout the whole offseason, it's been 1 year deals. Is it because like he's
Because
not
they're all
really
in to win
sure?
this year. Well, but I think all these moves kind of fit what they were trying to do. Like it made sense to sign Tyron Smith and Mike Williams to 1 year deals. They were going for it.
No, I agree with that, and I agree with what they're doing. It's just how much do you think Woody doesn't want to put a long-term deal in place because he's not sure about JD or Salah, and he doesn't want to kind of hamstring a long-term deal and give out big money right now because it just kind of feels weird that he hasn't signed Michael Carter when we know he's one of the best nickels in the league. Like it just doesn't add up that they're not giving out any long-term deals. Like they didn't re-sign Huff. For what reason? Like he could have done that and probably saved money and saved all this aggravation, but it just seems like Woody might not want to be paying any money right now, like big money for years.
Maybe, I'm sure Woody wants to see results before he gives out a bunch of multi-year extensions to all these guys. But like the Reddick situation, we're not talking about, to me, a 3 or 4 year deal, right? We're talking about if he's looking at Daniil Hunter as the comp, we're talking about
Oh, I agree because
this year and 1 more year tacked on. That's what we're talking about.
I think he should get a 2 year deal just for as long as he shared with Rodgers. Like I think that would be smart to just give him the 2 years, give him what 22. Like 2 years, 45 million. You think he's going to turn around and say no? Probably. I don't think so, but I don't know. It just seems weird that he's not handing out any kind of extensions right now.
Well, they can't extend a lot of the players they're going to extend. They can't pay Sauce yet. They can't pay Garrett yet because they're not eligible for extensions.
Oh no, I completely understand that. Like I know that they have extensions coming on down the line, like that they need to do.
He paid Quinnen a year ago. Made him the highest paid defensive tackle, not named Aaron Donald, in the league.
That's true, but that was also the first contract they given to one of their own draft picks in how long?
Right, but like that's part of the thinking with Reddick. It's like, well, we're willing to play ball with you, but we're not going to give you a 3 year deal.
But they also did that when they were kind of a little bit more sure on Salah and JD.
That's fair.
They were like, listen, you guys have this opportunity. Then now it's kind of like a make or break year. So it's like, I don't really want to give extensions, even though I think Michael Carter deserves an extension. I don't see why they haven't paid him. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's why I suggested if the Jets are going with this, oh, you got to be in the building before we pay you. We had other guys on the final year of their deals show up. Then, okay, sign Michael Carter today then, if that's the case. Send a message to Reddick's camp.
I completely agree with that. And I'm not like trying to defend Douglas, like maybe he's handcuffed a little bit, but I just don't understand why this has become such a problem. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's the Jets, so there's always something.
I mean, we want to get away from that narrative, and you just keep kind of saying it's the Jets.
I know.
Like, I just want to get rid of that narrative. Like, we
gotta
need
win.
Haason Reddick.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Great call, Francesco.
We won a Super Bowl.
I want it bad, man. That's a great jersey you got framed up top, by the way.
Yeah, Namath.
I love it. Great call, Francesco. Have you called before?
No, this is the first time calling.
Oh, great job. Call back again, all right?
All right, have a good one.
Well, tremendous job by a first-time caller. All right, here's what we're going to do right now. All right? We're going to go to Kyle Clifton, and then I'm going to give you guys some practice highlights courtesy of Nate, Nate, who's on site filming it for the people. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? That was a great call. I love the point about maybe Woody sticking his finger in here. I think that there's some value to it. if you and I always agreed, it would be very, very boring. The one thing that I will say, and what you kind of were saying yesterday, is that we don't know about whether, Huff wanted a more full-time role. I think we did. I saw that Cimini had an article back in mid-February at the end of last season. He said, I want to go somewhere, play rush and pass, three down player. And even now that he's in Eagles camp, Fangio is saying, well, he's not quite there yet. So I don't really blame them. If we really trust these guys developing the players, we also can kind of trust their player evaluation when it comes time to contracts, right? They're talking to Joe Douglas. They'll say, this guy is not a $17 million a year player for us. We need to look at other options. We have Will McDonald in the building. We think we can develop him. The other thing I'd say is Clowney. If you're going to pay him, what did he get? $8 million?
No, he got $12 million. It's basically a 1-year deal for $12 million.
Okay, that's a little steep for Clowney, because you're probably looking at somewhere like between 6 and 9 sacks. Was that fair to say?
I mean, he had 9.5 last year. He's good against the run. I mean, he's not Bryce Huff. He's not Haason Reddick. But if I could get Clowney at 1 year, $14 million, and avoid this headache that we're dealing with Reddick right now, I would do that in a second.
I mean, that might be fair. He might have been
eventually they're going to give Reddick more money. So Reddick's going to cost more money than Clowney would, and he's a better player, so he should. But Clowney would be perfect in this scheme.
Yeah,
that's why they almost signed him. That's why he took a visit to the facility, and they came that close to signing him. They didn't want to pay him what Carolina paid him.
I'm not saying that Reddick doesn't deserve a raise. I'm not saying that he's not a good player like some other people are. I'm saying that the money's not out there for him right now, and it's a timing thing, and it's unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
but the reality is the reality. It's like, he's cutting off his nose despite his face by taking all these fines.
But so are the Jets, because if they don't get Haason Reddick at what he's been, they're hurting their team.
Well, yeah, there's no way to say what he's going to be when he comes in. He could be one of these three. Yeah. All right. Thanks for your time, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you making a call. That's the problem. Yeah, the Jets are. I've said it. They're going to win the negotiation. Great. Hang the banner. Another great victory for us Jet fans. We won the Haason Reddick negotiation. How about we win games on the field, man? God. Here we go. Let's watch some practice. Thank you, Nate. Parentheses Nate. He was a good man. He drove me home from practice last week, and I lived to tell the tale. Here we go. First play. Rodgers misses Wilson. Deep play on first play from scrimmage. And I just saw Rodgers just hit Garrett after getting Will McDonald on a hard count for a 50-yard bomb. So we'll get to that eventually. But here we go. Taking a shot to Garrett. Sauce in coverage. Safety over the top. Incompletion. Watch it back. Nate, can you hold your phone up a little higher? What are we doing here? What is this, Nate? Who's this person with the hat? Knock their hat off. That's a woman. Unless she watches this show. Knock her hat off her head. All right. Little deep shot there. Let's keep going here. Jermaine Johnson destroys his jet sweep by Gibson. Great play. Here we go, folks. Yeah, Jermaine did destroy that. That is classic Jermaine Johnson. All right, I'm convinced we don't need Reddick. We're fine. Jets are in the right, baby. Yeah, Reddick is. We don't need him. He stinks. He's terrible. We got Jermaine. Rodgers incomplete to Lazard. Here we go. Good pocket there for Rodgers. Who's that? Sauce in coverage? Yep. That's like unfair. The only person who's going to have any shot of getting open against Sauce is Garrett. That's it. I mean, look at this coverage. Let's see if anyone else was open. Like, the fact that Aaron even went here tells you that he probably had no other option. Where was Garrett? Reed had good coverage on the outside. Let's see this again. One more time. Sauce clamping up on Lazard. Good coverage. Sauce has had a great camp. Every time I've been at Jet camp, I'm just mesmerized by how good Sauce has been. Here we go. Jets D-line stuffs the run. The defense is dominating early here. Reddick who? Nowhere. Salah said this morning, today's going to be their hardest day of practice all summer. They're doing the most amount of work. Full pads, hitting, scrimmage-like environment. Perfect day, too. One more time. Nowhere. I mean, it just, the entire defensive line was in on that one. Here we go. Tyrod to Brownlee. Good throw. Good catch. Is Zach Wilson making this play last year? You know the answer to that one. Good pocket, too. Look at these pockets they've had. Maybe we need Reddick. Hey. Great ball. Good placement here, too. Jets in a zone coverage. Good job. All right, here we go. Rodgers missed Lazard. Defense obsolete. This is 25 minutes ago, so we're playing catch-up. The offense then eventually can get the defense a few times, I saw. Here we go. Pressure. Got it out. Nope. Sauce on Lazard. It's a waste of time for Sauce to be on Lazard. He should shadow Garrett on almost every play. It's the only way they're going to get better. Maybe it's it's an effort thing. I don't know. Energy expense thing. Rodgers connects with Gibson for a big chunk. Here we go. Xavier Gibson. Let's see what you got, kid. Rodgers moving around, baby. Yeah, nice play. Good play. Garrett in motion there, too. The start of this. Sauce is on him on that rep. So what does Rodgers do? Well, I can't go to Garrett. Find someone else. Nice play. Let's watch the mobility of Rodgers. This guy doesn't look 40 coming off a serious injury. Good job. See, this is all he needs to do, right? Buy a little extra time. Step up. You know where your receiver is. Come back to it. Great play. Drop by Conklin after Dodgers maneuvers the pocket. Nate, I think you were referring to Aaron Rodgers. Here we go. Oh, this is great quarterbacking. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. He still got it. Come on, Conk. Come on. Conklin's got to catch this, man. He caught a one-handed one yesterday that the Jets posted, and he didn't catch an easy one here. What a job by Aaron here, though. Look at that. Not open, not open, not open. Let me buy time. Boom. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. I watched this. I smell 12-5 AFC East champions. No other way to put it. All right, here we go. Rodgers drops a dime to Wilson for a touchdown. This is the play where he got McDonald to jump. Here we go. Free play. Free play. Throw it to Garrett. Touchdown. Now, I saw on Twitter, the crowd after this chanted Aaron Rodgers after this play. Free play. He got him. Oh, Tyron Smith just... Is that Morgan? I think it was Morgan. Just threw him to the ground. Boom. Let's go. I wish you guys could hear the crowd, but I got to mute it because it doesn't play for my second monitor on StreamYard. So I'm the only one getting my ears blown off. Free play. Got him. And then, like, when that happens, they whatever play call they have called, they have a play call that every receiver knows what to do when they get a free play. Watch. Whatever route Garrett was supposed to run, the second he saw it was a free play, he changes whatever he was going to do. Boom. And he just goes. He just took off. Love this. Green 19. Got him. I mean, that's beautiful. Hell yeah. Rodgers using his legs for a first down. Nate, parentheses, Nate, giving us the goods. Hey. This looks like a healthy quarterback to me, no? Just saying. Also, good to see Sauce on Garrett there. That's probably why Aaron had to run. No one's open. Look, Mike Williams is practicing. He's not in team drills yet. this is why they need Mike Williams. Also, what did you notice about this play? Let's see who picked up on it. Who was lined up as a receiver at the beginning of this play? Brees. Brees is going to be second on the team in targets. They need Mike Williams back because Brees Hall right now is lining up as a receiver, which he should. It's third down here, so that's why they did it. It's like 3rd and 5, it looks like. But they need Brees to be that guy, but they also need Mike Williams back to give Rodgers another reliable receiver because Lazard is just a guy. If Garrett's covered by Sauce here, he's not getting open, which he wasn't on this play. Good job by Aaron. That's all he needs to do, right? He doesn't need to run for 300 yards rushing like he did in his prime. Woody Johnson taken in practice. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Is that Christopher next to him? No, I don't know who that is. Ladies and gentlemen, Woody in the house. All right, let's keep going here. What else you got for us, Nate? Parentheses, Nate. Here we go. Rodgers finds Brees off play action. Big collision with Quincy. Q not happy. Ooh, let's watch this. Play action. Rodgers steps up, checks it down. Who's not happy on this play? Quincy? Let's see. Rodgers, big collision with Quincy. Okay, so Quincy's not happy about this play. Did they allow that completion? Okay. Tight end bubble screen to Conklin. Here we go. That went nowhere. Who's ever wearing the Bucks Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey right here should be escorted out of the facility immediately. What are we doing? What are we doing? How about 2 Keyshawn Johnson jerseys right here in the front and then this guy in the white? All right. Rodgers flips it to Brees, split out wide for... They're using Brees as a receiver a lot today. Good. See what down this is. Second down, too. I mean, that's what they should do. Brees is going to have a McCaffrey-like year. I had the 3rd pick in my fantasy draft in my big league. Brees is my pick. Here we go. Alert. Change the play. Canning, whatever it was called. I mean, you're not stopping that. But look at Brees lined up. You got Brees on DJ Reed here in this matchup. Dude, DJ Reed has got to be exhausted, man. He's covering Garrett all practice, and now he's got to go over and he's got to deal with Brees out of the backfield, lined up as a receiver. All right, more here. Brees split out again, finds Curley on a hitch. I think the wording here by Nate's a little off. I don't think it was Brees throwing to Curley, but we'll find out together. There it is. Rodgers to Curley. All right. Let's see this again. Good view here. Look where they are, right in the middle of the poles. No obstruction. No obstruction. Let's see. There it is. Nice, easy pitch and catch. Let's watch the protection here. 3rd down. This is like 3rd and 3. How often do the Jets not be able to get 3 yards on like 3rd and 3? I mean, this is just so easy. Where was this call last year? Or, I don't know. Fake sweep to Garrett. Agent Zero takes it up the middle. All right. Hackett getting creative today. There we go. I like it. They're setting that up in the regular season, I guess, to give Garrett an end around a touch. Rodgers gets the first down on a quick throw to Garrett. Based on this, it looks like the offense is cooking after a slow start. Third and short again. Easy. See, here's my only complaint about this. Sauce should be on Garrett here. Right? 3rd and short. If you're going to tell me you're going to travel Sauce more in the regular season, put him on Garrett on this. Really challenge those guys. It's not me saying that. Darrelle Revis was DMing me about this. And then he tweeted it publicly, too. That's a fact, by the way. Go back at the beginning of camp. Revis responded to someone on Twitter saying, how come Sauce isn't on Garrett? And I DM'd him. I go, on some of the reps he is, but not on all of them. And we were going back and forth. But like, yeah, I mean, this does nothing for Garrett. He's going to get open against anyone besides Sauce. Rodgers check down. Here we go. Nate, you're doing a great work, man. I saw your comment here. Good check down. Braylon Allen, baby. Play action. Looks like a run. So good. Nice job reporting, Nate. You're doing God's work here. Rodgers hits Garrett on a slant for a first. Offense continues to march down the field. Nate spoiled the end result. It was a 90-yard touchdown drive. That's okay. Here we go. This is gorgeous, by the way. Poor DJ Reed. He's got no chance. Why aren't they putting Sauce on Garrett here? This is what are we doing? You're like, I'm sorry. DJ Reed's really good. Garrett's going to win this every time. This is like Waddle against Reed last year. Like, come on. I mean, he's too quick. Look how quick Garrett broke out of his route. How do you guard this? Look at that. What? He's open, and Rodgers and him have perfect chemistry there. I mean, the ball was... Watch when Rodgers releases this. Ball's out. At the exact time that Garrett made the cut. Watch. Cut. Ball's already out as he's cutting. It's beautiful. That is unguardable in a game. Unless it's maybe prime Revis or prime Sauce Gardner. Braylon Allen gets the offense into the red zone. I'm telling you guys, Braylon Allen's going to play a lot more than most people realize. He's in with the ones a lot, and that's the case again today. Bubble to Gibson, minimum game, second play inside the red zone. Nate, we're actually in the gold zone, right? According to Nate Hackett. Here we go. Nowhere. Defense. Making a play. We don't need Reddick. Look at that. Proof we don't need him. Rodgers tries to find Corley in the end zone. Looks to be PI. No refs present. Solid calling for it. 90-plus yard drive for the starting O versus starting G. Starting D. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I have no way of knowing if that's PI. We're too far away. They should have the refs at practice. They normally do. Where are the refs? Are they taking the day off today? Because I forgot the officiating in the NFL is so good, the refs don't need to work. They never get anything wrong. You can't tell here. I do like the fact that Corley is maybe in the circle of trust that Rodgers, I think that's Corley, right? Yeah. I mean, Corley is getting a chance. Everyone go follow at Nate Tape. He might be a basketball ref too. Look at Nate. Good job by Nate. We miss anything, Nate, or is that everything? Oh, we got more. Tyrod finds Herb Charles for a big game. Herb! Where's he been this summer? All right, Irv. There we go. Beautifully done by the Nate parentheses Nate. All right, we'll check in with Nate. If he has anything else that's good, we'll be following it. Good job by him. Hit the like button if you're tuned in right now. 455 of you are still tuned in. Let's get those likes up. We're seeking more channel members. Become an Asmaniac by hitting the join button, or make sure you turn on gift receipts because someone might make it rain. A couple super chats to get caught up on, and then Jake, we're coming to you with the next call. JR with a super chat. He says, bass, and Jake rocks. One of the most meanest bass lines ever. I think Reddick should have did the Ayuk and held in, because at least he would have built some equity with the team. Hope to get him jet up. I agree. I agree with you. I think Reddick's camp has handled this poor, but that doesn't excuse how the Jets have handled it to this point either. How it's even a problem, an issue, is where I get annoyed. Indy with a super chat. With or without Haason Reddick, how much better is the D going to be with the offense that will score 25 to 30 a game? So will Haason Reddick make that big of a difference? Yes, he will, because he will help you beat really good teams. You could get by in the regular season against some of the teams the Jets have scheduled, especially early. You want to beat the Bills in Buffalo? You want to go down to Miami and win against a divisional opponent that's kicked your ass the last 3 times you played them? You want to go out there and you want to beat Houston and their young stud quarterback on Thursday night? You want to win tough road games in Pittsburgh and so on and so forth? Like, yeah, Reddick's going to help you a lot. Now, obviously, the offense scoring that many points a game is the biggest thing, but it's not just about the regular season. It's like if you're in the playoffs and you're facing Burrow or you're facing Lamar or you're facing Mahomes, and you would think you'd have to go through probably at least 2 of those guys if you're going to try and get to a Super Bowl, then that's where Haason Reddick helps you. Jersey Jet, 8 months of being an Asmaniac. Finally, my beloved Jets are badass. Reddick is a luxury I'd love to have, but if Bleep goes left, we should still be very good. He's not a luxury. Don't fall for the Jet propaganda. More of your calls. Jake Klein from prison. Hello, Jake.
Halfway house, man. Get it right.
Gotcha. Well, how's the halfway house today?
It's nice. They feed you well here. You know,
Nice.
prison food is, different notch level. But, yeah, so, I mean, look, it's not fun. It's a very messy situation. I know you and I discussed about, like, giving him the 1-year extension. I mean, that still seems like the most ideal thing. The problem is now we're risking injury going to this, which means he's probably going to get a hamstring pull week 1 if he's on the field. And I'm kind of mentally preparing as if that's the possibility. So I guess I should ask you this. I asked Ryan this last night. Do you think in the end the Jets have looked at this as like it's a 1-year situation, like a rental? Or do you think they actually had the intention of making this a long-term deal? Because I'm kind of still a little perplexed as to exactly what was their mindset going to this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different versions of the story here. The Jets are very dug in on, hey, we'll redo your deal, but not until you show up first. Part of it's because I think they're guarding against next year holdouts from some of their other players. Like, oh, no, you got to show up, and then this is the policy we're going to set. We do your deal. But, like, to me, that's just not realistic. And I think Reddick's camp is like, well, you need us. You're on the hot seat. You got to win this year. And then Reddick is also, I think, changing his tune because he saw them dump JFM for nothing, and he's like, oh, I have more leverage now. I think that's part of this too. I think at the end of the day, Reddick's camp has handled this terribly. Doesn't excuse the Jets for allowing it to get to this point, making the deal without a rework contract. And I think if you're the Jets, even if you win the negotiation, you bring up the point I've been making all morning. What if he gets hurt? Or he's not the same guy because he's rushing to get back,
Right.
or he shows up right before the season starts, the Monday before week 1, so he gets his game check for that week. But, well, he hasn't been around you all offseason, all summer. He doesn't know your defense. You can't put him out there against the Niners. Then all of a sudden, he got paid for week 1, and he stuck it to you because by messing with his money, or in his mind, he is not playing for you week 1 against a team that, with Haason Reddick, you have a way better chance to beat than if you don't have him out there.
No, I'm going to go a step farther and tell you that right now, if he's playing for this team, he won't be productive till like week 6 or 7. Like, I think the first month is kind of a wash because it's going to be injury risk. He might be on a snap count. You're talking maybe like, was it week 5 or 6 they're playing Buffalo? That might be the earliest I can see production from him. I'm hoping it's sooner, but I have to kind of temper my expectations going into this because look at Darrelle Revis. Even though we got a contract, finally settled out of all that, he had a hamstring pull. It's just physics. These guys are just going to get injuries no matter what we see the situation as it is. And I really hope I like to understand what their plan. you and I kind of maybe said, we'll say it again. I think the mindset maybe is to have an extra year because Rodgers, you get the 2 years of the Rodgers situation before you got to pay Garrett, Sauce, and all these guys. That would have made the most vital, sensible situation. But now you're throwing in the injury risk. Now I think everything kind of just complicates everything. And it's just really unfortunate. The only thing I'm going to say, and I know it's maybe Looney Tunes to some people now, I don't think it's a bad idea for Joe Douglas to do a exploratory call with Tom Telesco about the Davante Adams situation and see if there's any way, as much as I know Haason Reddick's value is not great, you at least can maybe JD's a smart guy.
Why would they want him though? Why would they want Reddick?
Well, their salary cap is actually one of the highest in the league. They're like the 5th highest salary cap level, and you're having a defensive-minded guy, Antonio Pierce. You can pair him with Max Crosby, and they want to get Davante Adams off the books at some point. So it kind of can be a win-win for both teams, but it's going to be a tough sell. I just don't think it's now. I think it's at least worth the exploratory call and to say, listen, in about 5-6 weeks, if we're kind of like a dumpster fire, then maybe we're more open to trading Davante, and the Jets might be. And even if it's not even Haason at that point now, maybe it's lit. I don't know. I just think it's at least worth the exploratory call to see where it's possible, because I think in the end of the day, if everyone said in March, who would you, if we had a chance to get either player, was it Davante or Haason? I think everybody would have said Davante Adams.
I just don't see that being a trade fit, to be honest with you. I mean, call him, sure, but I don't think it's going to go very far.
No, I that's why I'm saying it's more exploratory. He might laugh his ass off and just say like, yeah, Joe, like, you think I'm going to do that? And obviously he's going to say, we're not going to tank the season going into week 1. We don't want to give that impression of like, we brought Brock Bowers here and everyone, like we want to actually see what like Gardner can do or what this offense can do. So I agree. I just think it's worth the conversation. I do. I think it would be remiss at least in doing that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're kind of stuck dealing with this, this scenario with Haason and whatever the case may be. And everything else, I mean, look, the rest of the team is, I didn't watch the preseason. I'm not really care too much what they were going to do as long as there's no injuries. I mean, yay, no injuries. That's kind of been like the best thing so far. I've heard about Braylon Allen, like, I guess, listen, if they're comfortable with like throwing him in on like 3rd down or something like that, fine. I mean, I think they're going to still utilize Breeze, 15, 20 carries a game. But I think it definitely gives them a fresh set of legs to what they want to do. And yeah, there's still what weeks left. Training camp ends. I keep forgetting now. It's the 3rd week of preseason. They're done with camp the end of before the last preseason game or after the last preseason game.
I forget. I think it's after the last preseason game.
Okay, so they all just do back their usual thing. Okay, so I guess I'm going back to the Haason thing. If let's say he's showing up like the last day of camp, so realistically he would probably show up like next Friday or next Thursday. Like that would be somewhere, maybe a clause in his contract that states about getting money. I guess maybe that's what. I didn't really read his contract. I don't really know how it all works. It's
at this point, every preseason game he misses, he loses the equivalency of a game check. So that's where it's headed.
We'll see what happens, man. But the good news is your events this weekend. How you feeling?
You're coming, right?
I am coming. I was talking to Jake Brown. He said he's going to some Fanatics after party because they have that big convention at the Javits Center. You heard about that too, right?
Oh, yeah. Fanatics Fest, sure.
Yeah. So there's some like after party after. So I don't know how long your event goes to, but something to go check out after. But is your thing going to the end of the game, or is this going to be something like
entire game?
Higher game. Are you doing like a post game? Is that your thing you're going to do?
Well, so T Square will be open post the game, because it's a bar restaurant.
No,
but
I understand.
Our actual event ends when the game ends because it's a watch party, but people aren't being kicked out the second the game is over. People can hang out.
No, I've been to T Square before. I'm just saying I didn't know. I don't know if like you have a set amount of time or like you're gonna do like a post game like on your show or something.
No, the post game is actually gonna be in the halfway house you're at.
I'm not that far from there, man. So you're more than welcome to come here. All right.
All right. Jake,
I'll see you on
call.
Saturday. All right.
Can't wait, man. Appreciate the call. At first I was gonna get annoyed at this comment because I was like, "What are you talking about, man? Are you new to the show?" I saw John Gotti wrote in, "Has anything ever positive come out of Jake's mouth?" And at first I thought he was talking about me. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm one of the more positive Jet fans you're going to find. I'm just not going to be a homer. I think the Jets are wrong in this Reddick thing, just like Reddick is. I'm not going to give him a pass. And I started thinking, oh, he doesn't mean me. He means Jake Klein. It is true. Jake is typically negative when he calls in. You know, we didn't hear from Jake Klein when Mike Williams was ahead of schedule last week. Just saying. John Gotti checks in. This guy makes me want to put my head in the wood chipper at work. John, come on, man. Look, let me bring on someone who's always positive. His takes always make sense. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary at 3D Boxing. Hello, Gary.
What up, Jake? First off, I actually like Jake's call. I thought that was a pretty decent call. But
Well, the call itself was fine. He's just people have noticed he's very negative. He looks like he's in a prison cell.
is he in a halfway house?
He is, yeah.
And they let him go to events? Because I used to do a Bible study at a halfway house, and like they don't. You could have family come, but they don't let you go to a Jake Asman event. But that's Texas. It's completely different than
No,
Jersey.
no. But Asmaniacs get a pass in the state of New York.
That's good law. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
No, I made
Yeah.
some calls.
Thank you, Jake. I didn't know you had that kind of pull. Is he really in a halfway house?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, things happen in life. It happens.
Are you judging?
I just said things happen. I don't know. I don't judge a man from where he's at because I don't know where he came from. Right? I mean, maybe 2 months ago he was in a federal penitentiary, and this is a step forward. I don't know. I don't know.
Have you been arrested before, Gary?
I don't. You got hundreds of listeners, and the internet's forever. I don't admit to things.
That wasn't a no. That is very interesting.
I don't admit to things on air. The internet's forever. You know,
Are you a murderer, Gary?
No, I'm not a murderer.
All right, so you'll admit to that one, but if I ask you if you've ever been arrested, you won't admit to that. Interesting.
I don't answer questions. Am I being detained?
Well, you just said you weren't a murderer, so you do answer questions.
Okay, I choose not to answer some questions.
Okay.
First off, his comment that would you rather have Adams or Reddick? I thought that was interesting because he said it Adams and was a little bit dismissive against it. But if you gave me the choice,
I would take Adams, but
Okay.
I want both because I think they could get both.
I would rather. I think you already have two top 20 receivers. I mean, Adams would be great. I'm not going to say no to it. But
Mike Williams is a risk coming off the injury. I love Garrett. I am fearful of him staying healthy because bad things happen to the Jets. You can never go wrong bringing in that type of weapon who knows the offense, already has the built-in chemistry with the quarterback. You would just be able to bludgeon teams if you had Devontae. That's why I would do that.
it's true. If you have Devontae Adams, it's almost like video games at this point, right? With the three of them.
Yeah, it'd be like having Brock Bowers.
I mean, that could have been a reality, but you know, I'm starting to like Olu. So like,
You're starting to.
yeah,
Gee.
I feel like it's okay. Like, you know the George Strait song when the girl tells him like we're breaking up, and he's like, "It's okay, baby. If I hurry now, I can still make Cheyenne." You know what I'm talking? That's how I feel. Like, okay,
yeah.
all right. Like I didn't. That's done with, but I still got the rodeo. I can still make Cheyenne. It's good. Like Olu look good. Like it's not ideal, but it still can be a good thing.
Not ideal. I mean, he's now being cross-trained at right tackle. He's the sixth man on this team.
I'm being positive about it. It's not who I would have picked. Like that's obvious, right?
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, we can still make Cheyenne. We're still good. I totally forgot. Reddick. This is getting ugly, man. Like the Jets aren't going to give him a long-term contract because they can't, because they have to sign the core four. So now they have to overpay him. Can you just give him a massive deal this year? Do they have the cap space to say, here, I'm going to throw the bag at you this year, perform this year, and next year, if you want to go somewhere else, if we can't afford you, do what you need to do. But here's the bag. Because that seems to me like the only solution at this point is just to throw him the bag this year.
No, I think it's work out a redone contract for this year and next season, or enough incentives this year where he's comfortable playing on his current deal, and then he's a free agent next year. And you say we won't tag you, we'll give you a no tag clause, like what Brady had his last year in New England.
That was my okay. So I don't really know the NFL cap that way, but you can do a no tag.
What do you know well?
I know how to fight, Jake. I
You
know how to
recently
fight.
discovered dogs were pets.
Dogs do make good pets.
You know, your food takes are horrendous. Your takes on basketball are lunacy. Embiid better than Shaq.
And that's not even like that. There's nothing on a court besides maybe a spin on a lob.
Derek
that
Jeter's
Shaq does better than
overrated.
Embiid.
I mean, we can just go through. I mean, you've had a laundry list
That's my
of
take.
trash
Like,
takes.
That's the take of the baseball population as a whole. Like, that's not my take. Like, it is, but like Derek Jeter is overrated.
I can't do
Is
it.
a pretty
Drop
commonly
it.
held
Drop
opinion.
it. Can't do it. How's Decker doing?
She's still sleeping. She's got a schedule like a college student. She's 11
Wow.
o'clock. Yeah, she's still sleeping.
What time did she go to bed last night? She's
I
9.
don't know. Like, I work in my office till like 2-3 in the morning. A lot of times, like, she'll stay up with me and just like watch her iPad, and then like when I'm ready to
She's
go
up
to
till
bed,
2:30 in the morning. She's 9 years old.
we homeschool, and like she doesn't have to be up for anything, and she likes to be with me. Like, Jake, I hope God blesses you with a daughter one day. I really do, because
No, look, I'm not going to
it's the
question your
greatest thing in the
parenting.
world.
Decker's awesome. She, it's probably more your wife and your nanny, but someone there did a great job parenting her. Maybe you could get some credit for that.
I appreciate that, Jake. But I'm sure. I hope God blesses you with a daughter one day. Because sons are great. I love my boys, but there's something about that father-daughter bond, which is.
You have a son. You have 2 sons and a daughter. Is that what you have?
Yeah, I have 2 sons. Decker has a twin brother, and then we have a younger son. So there's 2 boys and a girl. The boys are great. I like them, but the daughter, I love my daughter. She's the best. Yeah.
Girl, Dad, Gary. How about that?
There's a side to me that people don't see besides the controversial takes. Like, I'm a person,
You are, yeah. You also are one of the great singers of our generation.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza at the closest Shell gas station, because chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary doing his thing the way it was meant to be done. All right. Let's continue now, shall we? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, some of the other. Harvey says smash the like button. Harvey, I agree. If you look at the numbers right now, there are 494 of you tuned in. God bless each and every one of you. It's only 328 likes. So let's get those numbers up, man. All right, I'm going back to Nate's Twitter feed here. Nate, you better have blessed us with some brilliant Aaron Rodgers highlights. Let's see what we got. Then we'll go full screen. Okay. I'm going to spoil what's coming. And then we'll go through each play. Rodgers leads an 11-play, 70-yard touchdown drive, ending with a short scoring pass to Wilson. Rodgers was behind the sticks after a Clemens sack, but rallied with a long scramble. Yes, really. And a laser to Wilson on the sideline. Surgical. Huh. This guy is on a mission. Can we get some channel members so we could add the scorched earth emoji? The scorched earth tour is coming, baby. It's coming. All right, let's get to some highlights here. All right. We will do that, though, on the other side of this short break, because I have a lot I still want to cover, and I'm just going to be transparent with all of you. A 2-hour show. I need a bathroom break. BRB. Go Jets. Jets football. We love it.
And the pick is in. Here to announce the 13th pick in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Representing the Jake Asman Show, here's Gator McCluskey.
With the 13th pick, it looks like we have a trade with the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to pass out. The Packers send the Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers the 15th pick and a conditional 2025 second-round pick. The Jets send the 13th pick quarterback Zach Wilson along with 6 months of free Netflix, along with these Burger King coupons.
And now for a special announcement from Jake Asman.
There's consequences to saying dumb things on this show. FM, you're going to the Shadow Realm, bozo, for life. See you never. Let's get back to your calls right now. Let's go to Charles, who's up next on the Gus Buster hotline. What's up, Charles?
Hey, Jake. Look, I was pleasantly surprised. Well, let me rephrase that. Just Dwayne Brown is a bit.
The Russian Minister of Defense, Sergei Shoigu, and the General Chief of Staff, Vasily Gerasimov.
I'm sorry.
You have like some weird pain fetish.
I understand that, but
Sorry, I am.
Oh my.
Hypocrite's a bit much. And
Honestly, I don't.
what sleeping?
No, they don't need that.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
So what's up? You want me to give you those 10 years your phone number?
I'm sorry.
It's killing me. Just sorry, I'm just muttering randomly, but honestly, I don't.
How did?
Sorry, I am just.
Oh my. Oh my God. How did Gator do that? Just that. Oh my. I mean, what? We still asked the question, how did Gator do that? All these years later. All right, here we go. Time for more Nate Nate magic, folks. All right. Nate doing the work that Jet fans need on this fine Tuesday now afternoon. All right. Nate, would you start a new thread here? What are we doing? I'm trying to go in order here of Nate's tweets. Let's see. All right, here we go. From the top. If Twitter would load. Come on, Elon. Also, Herb Charles scored a touchdown from Tyrod that capped off that drive with the twos. New drive. Here we go. All right. Let's watch together, people. Hit the like button if you're tuned in and subscribe. Here we go. Nate, Nate, with the new drive for the people. First team offense, first team defense. I don't think I need to show this a bunch. First play, Braylon Allen stuffed. You guys can't hear the sound, but I did. I heard Rodgers' cadence there, which still brings me joy. Here we go. Rodgers missed Braylon out of the backfield. Third down coming up. Here we go. How about the Glenn Foley jersey there? That to me is on the running back, not Rodgers, but whatever. All right, third and long. Does Aaron Rodgers have it in him? What does he do? Oh, he goes back to the guy that just dropped the pass, showing confidence in a rookie. I thought Aaron hates rookies. Maybe he doesn't like players who stink. Here we go. Rodgers to Allen, the oldest player in the league to the youngest player in the league. On third and long, first down Jets. See how this offense works? The rhythm and timing. All these routes down the field. Allen knows where the soft spot on the zone is. Boom. CJ Mosley, we love you. You're not going to be able to catch up to Braylon Allen. It's a good play here. Doesn't look like anyone was open. Other than Braylon Allen. Next play of the drive. After big Braylon Allen run, no video, Yak gets quick pressure on Rodgers, blows up play. Let's see. That would have been a sack in a game. he wrote Yak. I think he means Tack, right? Nate, I think you mean Tack McKinley there. That's what I'm assuming, 93. All right, Rodgers checked down on first down. Here we go. Ooh, we're hidden today, boys. Boys are hidden. There it is. All right. Next play of the drive. Rodgers hits Garrett on the back shoulder. The best back shoulder thrower in the NFL's history is Aaron Rodgers. Let's watch it. Unguardable. And that's on Sauce. Sauce can't even guard that. You can't guard this play. If the ball is perfectly thrown and the receiver is on the same page as the quarterback, it is an unstoppable play. And Rodgers did this with Devontae more than anyone. And he will do this with Mike Williams a lot this year. At least Sauce is on Garrett, finally. That's unguardable. Here we go. Brees gets him inside the 5. 2nd and goal. All right, next play after that, another Brees run on 2nd and goal. Feed Brees. All right. Let's go. Garrett's not in on this play. Lazard. Conklin. I'm trying to see who's the other. Nope. Just one tight end. All right, here we go. Play after that. Rodgers hits Garrett on 3rd and goal for the touchdown. Here we go. Good pocket. Good ball. You want to know why that play works? Who's guarding Garrett here? You're going to put Mosley on him, a linebacker? No chance. Too slow. I'm guessing Sauce is on Lazard on the left and we can't see it. Or they're in zone. Or Sauce on the right and I missed it. Yeah, Sauce he's up top. Is that Sauce on Conklin? Is that 83 on the right there? It's hard to tell from this angle. But I mean, that's like. Come on now. Too easy. You give this to Garrett Wilson in a game. I mean, Dre might be onto something. He's going to score 28 touchdowns. Here we go. New drive. Let's go, Nate, parentheses, Nate. We're almost in real time. You tweeted this at 12:28. We're only 3 minutes behind you. Here we go. Rodgers. Deep bomb. Oh, baby. Jets football is back. I could feel the magic in the air. Is that Lazard? Or who is that? Is that? Yeah, it's Lazard. All right. Here we go. Look at that pocket. Got it off. Here we go. This team is going to be so nasty if Aaron's healthy, man. They really are. Here we go. Rodgers hit Brees in the back, wasn't looking. Rodgers blames himself, and they go back to the huddle. All right, so this is the next play after the bomb. Let's see. All right, so just a timing thing there. We'll get on the same page. That's why they call it practice, boys and girls. Here we go. Rodgers gets D-line the jump, so Tippmann snaps it. Not a bad snap. Calm down. Thank you, Nate. I'm calm. At me next time, Nate. There we go. Come at me. So Tittman snapped it because he got him to jump. So that's why that snap is what it is. Rodgers quick out to Lazard to move the chains. Here we go. We're driving again, baby. Jets football. That's on Sauce, too. It's just easy pitch and catch. Defense looks like they showed blitz. But I don't know if they actually brought more than 4. I see Fialco's in the chat. Fialco, I'm doing my best you impression. Rodgers to Garrett, ruled down by contact. Let's find out. We don't have refs today. Oh, nice play. It was down. It was down. That's a good call. Let's see this again. Corley in motion. Conklin out there. Nice. Good to see Garrett and Sauce at least get matched up on this drive. Sauce can't get better if he's covering Lazard all practice. Love it. All right. Next play. Rodgers splits out. Brees throws a fade. Brees Hall in the corner of the end zone. That's a Jet touchdown. Here we go. Wow, that looks like a sick throw. Crowd going nuts. You guys can't hear it, but I can in my ears. Great crowd today. Shout out to the Jet fans there. Look at this. Boom. Is that Mosley in coverage? See, Brees, this is why I'm taking Brees 3rd overall in my fantasy league. He's going to be the best running back in football. How are you guarding this? This is a running back. Brees looks like Devontae Adams here. How are you guarding this? And I love you, CJ Mosley. You're getting cooked. Mosley, any linebacker in the league is not covering Brees. You're just not. But like Rodgers just is like, he just knows, man. He's like, we have Brees Hall. He's 1-on-1 on the outside with a linebacker. We're throwing, and notice they're just lining Brees up as a receiver. Yes, I think they need Mike Williams, obviously, but this is why I'm telling everyone Brees is 2nd on the team in targets this year because he's going to be lined up as a receiver. Look at this. He wasn't out of the backfield here. I can't tell what down this is. I can't see the chain gang. But still, I think it's maybe 2nd down, and they're using Brees as a receiver in the red zone here. Great. Look at this. Throw it up. Look how quick Aaron got rid of the ball. Like, I don't care how bad your O-line is. If you could stand there at a shotgun, throw it up, ball's already out. Doesn't matter how good your pass rush is when you got a quarterback that good and a receiver like Brees on that play. Look at that. I'll watch this all day. I love it. Good job, Nate. Parentheses, Nate. Excellent job. Excellent job. All right. We got 3 people on hold that are left. I will take their calls, and then we will wrap. We're recapping practice at 4 Eastern today with Brandon Pockrass, although I might try and move it back to 4:30 because this show is long. I got things to do. Edward is up next. Hello, Edward.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Long time. It's been a minute, huh?
Edward, what's up, man? Where you been?
Just doing stuff. Got a new job, driving a dumpster truck, making good money. It's great. I love it.
I love it. I'm happy to hear that. I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah, I wanted to comment just briefly on Haason. Probably everyone's been doing it all day. The one comment I want to make, and I talked to Boy Green this morning about it, is he wouldn't have been receiving so much venom that he's been receiving on all the Jet podcasters in the comments section. Every one of them is just like ripping this guy to shreds. And it's his own damn fault because apparently he lied to Douglas about what his intentions were. And that's why everybody's so pissed at him, is because he's full of shit. He said he was going to show up and he didn't. That's why everybody's mad at him.
Yeah, look, I think it was poorly handled by his side. There's no doubt. And I think what it comes down to is, even if the Jets win the negotiation, Edward, like, what version of the player are you eventually getting back? It's just bad we're in this spot. Get him signed. Figure it out. He's going to help you win a lot of games. Let's not forget that.
Right. Well, somebody on the Green's show mentioned earlier.
Edward, we lost you with the internet as you're driving there. Nate, give us some updates here. I'm seeing some tweets from beat reporters. Rodgers completed a pass to Corley for 2-point conversion. We didn't get the 2-point conversion. Oh, no, we did. Here it is. I take it all back, Nate. I never doubted you. Hold on. By the way, this drill, by the way, is the Jets needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to tie it up. So we showed you the Brees touchdown. That got the Jets a score. They're in the 2-minute drill on this, by the way. I didn't realize that when we were going through the drive just now. Here's the 2-point conversion for Rodgers and the offense to beat the defense in the 2-minute drive. Here we go. Wait, where'd it go? It keeps disappearing, man. I just had it, people. I swear. Hold on. The second team defense beat the second team offense. First team offense beat the first team offense, which is good because I saw Samini say this was Rodgers' best practice at camp, so he's ready. And also, Rodgers said today on Boomer and Gio he doesn't think he needs to play in the preseason, so I don't think he's going to play in the preseason then, but we'll see. Here we go. Shotgun, 2-point conversion. What is Hackett calling, a.k.a. Rodgers? Game's on the line. I mean, someone screwed up. He shouldn't have been wide open on that one. I do like Corley and Garrett lined up right there. Fialco, what do you think of that? You know what I see? I see greatness, but you're the expert. Oh, they ran the pick play. That's why. This is easy. This is set up because of Garrett. He just commands so much attention. Shouldn't Sauce be on Garrett with the 2-point? Here's my only gripe. Shouldn't you put Sauce here on Garrett on the 2-point conversion with the game on the line? I get it. You have faith in DJ Reed. He's good. But shouldn't Sauce in this pivotal moment of practice where you're treating it like it's a game, it's the 2-minute drill, you scored the touchdown, shouldn't Sauce be here instead of on the other side covering Lazard, who Rodgers didn't even look at here? I don't know. I'm not a football coach. But Fialco was with Buffalo, and he writes in, Sauce needs to be traveling there for sure. So if Fialco's telling you that, I'm on to something. He also wrote previously on the play, love the bunch and a little rub route there, Jake. Easy confusion, caused in man coverage. Also, I can confirm Andrew Fialco's film review this week from the preseason game, highlighting the rookies and the second-year studs, will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Also, I'm seeing some breaking news we should hit on. J.J. McCarthy suffered a significant knee injury. Unclear how long he's going to be out for, but he's getting some sort of surgery on his knee as a meniscus injury. He's expected to undergo knee surgery that will determine how much time will be sidelined. McCarthy complained about knee soreness over the weekend, underwent an MRI on Monday night. So if you're going to London like I plan on, you're going to be guaranteed now to watch Sam Darnold. All right, let's bring him on. He gave us all the highlights today. He's a listener unlike any other. Nate, parentheses, Nate. Hello, Nate.
Yes, Jets.
Nate.
Hey, what's up, Jake? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Great job, man. Great job.
Cheers. I had to take this man's job.
Yeah.
From videos.
Give us a little prime time.
Say it again.
Give us a little prime time. I have a message for him.
Jake has a message for you. You want to say hi? Hold him up to it. All right, he's listening.
Prime time. We will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Get ready.
Absolutely, I will be there.
Let's go, baby. Prime time's coming on the show. It's all happening. Look at him, that handsome son of a gun.
Can't wait. I got plenty of notes since I couldn't do video today. So
I love it. Don't worry. Nate parentheses Nate handled the video. He did a great job.
Awesome, man.
I love it. Nate, how was practice? Give us some takes.
It was good, man. The offense got dominated early on, probably as bad as they've looked in the open practices that I've been here. That was the
Kevin.
first
Great.
couple rounds. And then the second series, when they were doing the drive to field and the red zone stuff, they looked much better in that drive. So
I love it. I love it. I can't wait to talk more about it tomorrow with you.
no, absolutely, man. Can't wait. Trying to figure out what's going on here. They just had somebody break the team down. Trying to figure out who it is.
Oh, is there a celebrity there? Let's find out. See if I can get something for you on that. I don't know. None of the beat reporters have said who it is. Is it Reddick? That'd be nice.
No, it definitely wasn't Reddick.
That'd be nice.
No, it was actually a lady, but I couldn't tell. Like,
oh, maybe it was Connie Carberg. Well, that would be awesome. All right. Well, you guys keep us posted. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate parentheses Nate. All right, one last call before we wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring on someone who is well hydrated, it appears. Dre. What's up, Dre? There it is.
My brother, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Listen, we just got to calm down. It's hard to calm down about the whole Reddick thing. But I'd like to point out, like I was listening to the show, but then when you saw all the stuff that was happening, the relationship between Garrett and Aaron, and you mentioned that I might be right, I might be onto something with his 28 touchdowns. I'm just telling. I've got beautiful beachfront property here on 28 Touchdown Island, and we've got beautiful weather.
Do they have better Wi-Fi or audio on 28 Touchdown Island?
The audio is coming. I have Spectrum coming out and running new lines, so this is what I can do for right now. I'm in an office hiding. So this
And he's gone.
Gotta be honest.
Back.
Yep, I'm back. I apologize. I love hearing about how the relationship is building. I really think that if we end up adding Devontae, it's going to make our offense unstoppable. I really hope that JD can pull it together and get Reddick in the building, because you have a very good point. Reddick on our team, our defense is definitely top 3. And I don't think that we're going to be 2 or 3. So, I mean, it'd just be hard because you got Sauce and then whoever's on the other side. Reed's not. Reed is a really great cornerback. He gets burned every now and again, but every cornerback gets burned. Sauce is just an alien. So if Sauce is locking down one side and is going to travel, so he takes away the quarterback's, security blanket, best wide receiver or whatever, then at that point, it's just about the other team, the other guys, the other corners, the coverage linebackers and safeties, just holding up enough coverage to be able to disrupt passing to the second, third, and fourth options. And by then, Reddick, Quinnen, Kindle, somebody is going to get to the quarterback by then. So the defense is going to take care of itself, and always praying for health, because that's the only thing that stops this entire season is health. But fear not, Jet fans. Quality quarterback play is coming. Quality football play, overall football play. And another note to JJ, who is afraid of attending the event on Saturday. Bro, you're the least of my problems. You are, of the 3 heels, the 3 Jake Asman heels, you're my favorite one. You get my respect because you are a season ticket holder. You are a fan of the team, and this is a non-issue, bro. Please come. Yeah, I will have you gladly sit right next to me at T Squared. We'll hang out, and there's no beef. It's just your takes are terrible. That's okay. You're allowed to have terrible takes, but you're a good person. I have it on great authority that you are a good person. But the fact is, you spend your money, you support the team more than I do, because I don't have season ticket. I don't have season tickets, but I will go to the game and I will talk smack to anybody who is not a Jet fan. They're just going to be in second place this year. I tell you that. Even my friend, Mr. Packer fan, Will Jerome is my guy, but I'm talking about BMAC. Then he said the Packers are going to beat us in the Super Bowl. I promise you that could never happen. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't allow it, but it's all good. You know what, BMAC? I'll be there for when you start crying. You could come and watch the Super Bowl with me too. I'll have Jerome on one side, BMAC on the other, and I'll be there to support my friends as they cry, and then I'll put the cups to drink their tears. The Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
Trey, thank you.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
What a show it was, ladies and gentlemen. What a show it was. We'll be back in the afternoon to recap what all the players say when they're asked about Reddick. Positive Jet stories. Rodgers just had his best practice of the summer. Garrett Wilson had a day. Rodgers threw his way 7 times in full teamwork, caught 6 passes with 2 touchdowns, 1 long one beat Eccles, another short one over the middle to cap a drive. I mean, this team is really good. That's why this Reddick stuff is frustrating, because it shouldn't be a thing. But they're good. Really good. Keep Aaron healthy. They're going to be good. He had clean pockets today. We saw it on the highlights. Thanks to Nate Nate for that one. All right, fun show. We're back in just a bit. We're going to bring on an eyewitness from today's practice, a credentialed media member for the day with JetX, Brandon Pockrass. He's wearing the Robbie Sabo press credential, I've been told. So we'll check in with him later on. Once again, my name is Jake Asman. This is the Jake Asman Show. Talk to you guys soon. Reminder to RSVP for the free watch party event Saturday night in New York City. If you're coming, it's going to be a blast. If you like fun, you're going to like this event. How's that? Let's go get it. All right, go Jets. Talk to you guys soon. In honor of Garrett Wilson carving up the Jet defense today, I present more Garrett Wilson. Have a good one.
The Jets are